This is the question 4 of the evaluation. The question is, how did we use media technology in the construction stages, the research stage, and the planning stage of our project? Now, I'm going to start with this guy. Now, you probably recognise the symbol. The PowerPoint, I used it for the research. So I used it quite a lot in the research for recognising different music genres, doing analyses of videos and other research and key planning that was needed for the project. We previously used it in other years, like let's say for example year 11. I had a lot of ICT work to do, so it was a lot of PowerPoint based. So I had previous experience of this software and I could use it quite efficiently. Now, this is Keynote. Because I use Macs at school, I will explain later in the video. I wanted to use Keynote because PowerPoint is good, but Keynote is better, more creativity. So I've used it several times. I made a genre video and then decided to scrap the PowerPoint version and go straight to a Keynote version, because I could have more slides, I could have different slide transitions, animations. I've not used Keynote before because I hadn't really had any use for it. For the past 5 years I've used Microsoft computers, so they haven't had Keynote computers. So I decided to give it a go because it's new to me. I got to grips with the main features of the program. Yeah, I think if I was going to redo the project, I would definitely, Keynote would come first. I would use Keynote all of the time because it seemed much better program to use. So the next thing would be this guy, Final Cut. We use this program for the editing stages of our blooper video and the actual music video. We all had a go at it. We all were quite confused, but stage by stage we just managed to learn the key basic features of it: cutting, pasting in clips into the sequence, basically importing the video from a camera, which I will explain about the camera later on. So Final Cut was quite confusing at first. I didn't quite know the button shortcuts and effects, because there's a lot of effects on Final Cut. So I went through them. Before I started cutting and snipping and cutting our video to pieces, or the footage, I recorded 10 minutes of footage before with my group, and I snipped that up and made something out of it. So yeah, that was good practice. I think the main reason why we used Final Cut Pro was because we didn't want to use programs such as iMovie, which I used in research and planning, or Movie Maker, because they're quite amateurish programs. So we wanted to use a Final Cut, which is more of a professional program, and it would make our music video look good, feel good, and it all adds up in the end. You have good footage on a not very good editing software, it doesn't work. On Pages, this one, I have a lot of experience of Pages, because of last year I used it a lot for doing my magazine, and it got me a pretty good grade, so I kept using it for this year. So planned out the Digipack advert what we had to do for part of the project. I found it very easy to use. I'd rather use that than Publisher, because that is the whole Final Cut Movie Maker sort of situation. Page is a bit more professional than Publisher. So yeah, Photoshop. Now, when I used Photoshop last year, we all used Photoshop to do, because all of my group were doing media last year. We used it to edit, add filters to all of our pictures. Last year I was really confused with the program. This year, so we had a better knowledge this year because we previously used it. So I already knew the main key features. I started exploring a bit more. So this year I used Photoshop just for the Digipack advert, where I desaturated the picture to make it black and white, and used a cutting tool to cut out from the black and white filter the same shape of the girl's lips. Here is a picture. So onto websites, we used YouTube. This was one of the main websites we used. It proved very handy. We got a lot of the videos from it, and a lot of our music videos, existing music videos, so we could analyse and talk about in our research planning. So we had a clear insight on what we could do for our music video. So yeah, YouTube, very useful. We've used it loads of times before. Social life, educational reasons, so there is absolute no problem using YouTube. So we also used Wix, make your own website on it. We made a solo artist website on there. It's got the video, it's got the bloopers video, it's got the Digipack advert, and it's got an array of all images that we took of the artist to promote the artist. Moving on to cameras. Now this one here, this point and shoot camera is pretty simple and straightforward. There's not really a lot I have to say about that because I have already know how to use it. There was no hiccups or anything. I know how to upload pictures. The other people in my group have also used similar ones. They've used digital cameras, point and shoots. They're simple to use. But when we was doing our music video, we didn't, because the video on that is good, but it's not a professional standard which would be acceptable by us. We were great narrative, great performance of an artist, and not very good, unsatisfactory footage. So we decided to use this guy, this beast, which we already have at school. They're professional cameras. We used them for the music video and the bloopers. I've never used one of these before. My group hasn't either. So we all had to learn together how to use this, basically. I mean, after a while it was quite straightforward. After we'd used it for a couple of times, we done some random footage of people, just to understand how to record, how to press, how to preview it. So yeah, we got to terms with that. So moving on to the SLR, we had to do a photo shoot of the artist to promote the artist, which would go on the Digipack, the website. So we used one of our members' DSLRs, very high quality camera, to make the pictures look great. And I mean, didn't know how to use it to its full capability, whereas the person in my group who owns one knows very well how to use it, all the settings and focusing and everything. That's all. I only know the basics of point, shoot it, focus, zoom. That's it, basically. So yeah, moving on to the overall sort of discussion of Mac. We used a Mac. We all use Macs because in our media suite in school we have Mac. It is the Mac room. we have all different things on there, like all the software that I've explained is all on the Mac. It is a very good piece of kit for creativity, so it was much more easier than having a Microsoft computer, whereas a Macintosh was much preferred. We wouldn't have got the programs such as Pages or Keynote. You couldn't get them on Microsoft computers. Photoshop is better on a Mac, whereas the program that you'd look on Microsoft computers would be PaintShop Pro. Now that is a basic version of Photoshop. So Photoshop is the winner. You can do so much more, and it is the better program. Yeah, I definitely use a Mac when we was doing our media. So yeah, that is the media technology question. I hope you enjoyed it. So yeah.